Check, check, check. Alright, let me get situated. Oh, jeez.
Match found.
Frick.
Gotta go. I'm out of here.
Reloading.
This.
Reloading.
Bad move. Nice try. I'm out of here. There. Gotcha. Throwing net. Gotta go. Go away.
10 seconds until stage change.
That's 3.
Stage 2.
What's this? 4 down. Go, go, go. Take this. Gotta go.
Charge your ults.
Dizzy's up top.
Back off.
Golden.
Go, go, go.
Echo is cruel and
I'm out of here.
new stage in time.
Bye-bye. Go, go, go.
Stage 3.
See ya. It's you and me.
I'm out of here. Got one. Gotta go. What? Go, go, go.
Spawning.
I'm out of here. I'll take it. Gotta go. There. No escape.
New stage in 10.
I'm out of here.
Reloading.
No surprises.
Final stage.
Go, go, go.
Fun begins.
Kill. Gotta go. Sensor down. Taken out.
Saw you, Mom.
That's 3. Barrier. Go, go, go. Gotta go.
What the?
Go, go, go.
Reloaded.
This. I'm out of here.
Spawning.
Not ready yet. Watch out. Smart move. Nice try. I'm out of here. Got one. There we go. Gotta go.
begins.
Reloading.
Movement.
You want a piece of this?
Throwing net.
Reloading.
Gotta go.
Got him. Sit down.
Flashbang.
Watch out.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Go, go, go.
Got more.
I'm out of here. Down. I'm out of here.
Grenade out.
Gotta go.
Over there.
Charge yours. Reloading.
Gotta go. I'll take it. Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
Begins.
I'm out of here. Shocking. Make this golden target down. I'm out of here.
Deploy.
Go, go, go.
Cállate.
Kills to go.
Go, go, go. Get out of my way.
Someone's there. It's you and me.
5 kills left.
I'm out of here. Over there. Not ready yet.
See ya.
Flash.
No escape.
Reloading.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Ultimate orb spawning.
I can't even type, okay. All right.
My ultimate's ready.
My ult's ready.
Oh, that's console. The heck?
After you work out, you can feel warm.
director of finance. I'm managing.
Trying to get in a group.
And it eternity it spent playing out in the tortured halls of my mind. Mentors, friends, and love.
Alright, whatever. Be right back. Fine. Okay. Just check. Oh no, I did not want to do that. Oh God.
Match found.
Gets up.
Okay, put a gold on the other team. Sure.
I'm out of here.
Need a drop.
Go, go, go!
Got a dog. Got you.
I'm out of here.
Looks like A.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'm out of here.
All three on
Spike
site.
planted.
Don't miss me too much.
Good lord. 33 Gecko.
Last player standing.
There.
B.
Doing a thing. Spike planted.
Go, go, go.
Oh my gosh.
Reloading.
Last player standing. Flawless.
Dude, actually 5 seconds is a terrible idea because it put us with like a gold team. It's like, okay. I should just solo queued.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Go, go, go.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
I shot something.
Kill. Gotta go.
Spike planted.
That was stupid.
One enemy remaining.
Right here.
I'm too far.
Gun here.
Dancing vacuum deactivated. Reloading. Need a drop.
I need a drop.
I'm out of here.
Need a drop.
Yep.
Can I get a bike lift?
Go, go, go!
Trap destroyed.
Come on, let's go! Here.
Here! Catch! Gotta go!
Eat.
Spike planted.
Running low.
Multiple enemies. B.
Holy.
Stay dead. Gonna fall back here.
Last player standing.
Nice.
I'm out of here.
Grab it up.
I'm out of here.
Enemies B.
Gotta go.
Fight all is ready.
Dude, I don't know what I'm doing. Keep me on, whatever. Stupid.
Drop in a smoke.
Spike planted.
Gonna fall back here. I'm out of here. Get out of my way. Gotta go.
Bye.
Many. Left.
Oh yeah! Monster
Go, go, go.
on the loose!
Go, go, go. Drop in a smoke. Gotta go.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Sorted.
I'm out.
planted.
You will not kill my ally.
One enemy remaining.
Woo! Oh my god.
Kinda
Pop, pop smackle, baby.
My ultimate's ready.
I'm out of here.
Could have a job. Thank you.
They are so dead.
Get these two in.
Gotta go.
Many on site.
You're out.
Spike planted.
Oh my
One
gosh.
enemy remaining.
Careful now.
Hitting the brakes.
Lord.
Reloading. Go, go, go.
Enemy B.
I'm out of here. Gotta go.
They found my trap.
Hi. I'm pissed.
B neon.
Spike
I'm outta
down
here.
mid. Last player standing.
Almost out.
117 on you.
Smart move. You had your fun.
Spike planted.
My turn.
Oh man. Okay.
Need a drop. Go, go, go.
Could have a job. Nice. Could have a job. Thank you.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Gotta go. Get out of my way.
Spike planted.
Here we go.
Oh my gosh. That is gormless. Frick.
Running low. Shocking.
Oh my gosh.
Rations in W!
Last Last player standing.
Go, go, go! I'm out of here.
I'm sorry.
Taken out. What? Gotta go.
I.
No peeking.
Spike planted.
Right here.
Heaven.
Come on, let's go!
Hitting the brakes.
Last player standing. Last round in the half.
Go, go, go. Gotta go. Go, go, go. I'm out of here.
Yo, wait, Neon, do you wanna push him in with me?
Sure.
I hear some art.
Actually, never mind.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Hey. They're in. They're in. Smoke. Amen. Smoke. Wyatt.
Dude,
For one window.
You will not kill my allies.
Trap destroyed.
Go, go, go. Go, go, go. I'm out of here.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
They are so dead. My ult is ready.
Switching sides.
Gotta go. Go, go, go.
Adieu.
One enemy remaining. Last player
Dude, what was
standing.
that? Oh my gosh. What is going on?
Gotta go. Go, go, go. Gotta go.
Watch your eyes.
Dropping smoke. Reloading. Back in a flash.
The one behind you, Neon.
Reloading.
No, you don't.
They found my trap.
One enemy
One flank, one flank.
remaining.
Teleport's gone.
Last one's flank.
Spike planted.
Nice.
I'm out of here. Gotta go. Reloading. Reloading. Reloading.
Punch a guy there.
Sage 140, Clove 117.
Reloading. Target down. Go, go, go. Too slow.
Don't miss
I'm
it.
out of here. Spike planted.
On me.
Reloading.
Frick. Oh, that's a good play.
Last player
Slowing it
standing.
down. Go, go, go. Get out of my way.
Last player standing. Spike down. Defender spawn.
Nice and slow that. Yep, my ultimate is ready. Go, go, go! Multiple enemies A. Gotta go! Light 'em up! Back in the flash. Here we go!
Oh my gosh. Please?
Right here.
Almost out.
18 Gecko.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
Flash!
Phoenix players.
You will not kill my allies! My
Match
ult is
point.
ready. I'm out of here. Right here.
Spike down B.
My ult is ready.
Last player standing. Defenders win.
It's a big waste of time. Well, not. It's whatever. It's just this team was not a big fan. Try one more. Dude, how much? I'm just curious. Good lord. Whatever.
Match found.
Move or get zapped.
We got mics.
I'm out of here. Go, go, go.
Alright, if we're gonna go for a B push, I'm gonna use my drone.
Okay.
And then we should have smokes off on elbow and tower.
Reloading. Locating targets. One suppressed. All missiles away. Reloading.
You rotate, rotate.
No peeking.
Yeah, let's do a rotate clove. Never mind, I'm coming back, I'm coming back.
Refreshing. Drop in a smoke.
One enemy remaining.
Perfect.
This,
Just hide, swing off. Play flank us. Play me, play me, play me.
Last player standing.
good job.
Gotta go. I'm out of dropping smokes.
Smoke's down.
Go, go, go. Spike plant.
Drone going out. One suppressed. Negating. Trap destroyed.
Reload.
Gotta go.
Watch your X-Flash. Reload. Enemy spotted. A. Smoke's down.
Go, go, go.
Reloading.
Gotta go.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Reloading. I'm out of here. Dropping
Locating targets.
Go, go, go. Bye-bye.
Spike planted. Launching smoke.
One enemy remaining.
Reloading.
Nice job.
Gotta go. I'm out of here.
I'll go through mid.
Go, go, go. Gotta go.
I hear footsteps beat.
Drone going out. Smoke's down.
This.
Two suppressed.
Bye.
Back up.
Right here. All missiles away.
Let's go away. Let's go.
Ah,
Spike down B. 30 seconds left.
I got this.
One enemy remaining.
Grenade is live.
Carriers down.
Spike down B.
dude, I don't know what the team is doing. Like,
10 seconds left.
I want to eat. I got
there's not enough time to. Ugh.
spike plant.
Oh my gosh.
Last player standing.
Like I never left. That's their best. Huh. All right. I'm out of here.
That's default one.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Watch out. Reloading.
Who's next?
I'm out of here.
Dropping a smoke.
Here, catch.
Denial active.
Gotta go.
Reloading.
Watch our display.
Spike planted. Reloading.
That's a kill.
Out of charges.
Launching smoke. Out of here.
One enemy remaining.
Reloading.
Go, go, go!
Right here.
I'm out of here! Gotta go! Go, go, go!
Turn it all to dust. Negating. Enemy down.
Dropping smoke.
Drone going out.
Watch out! One of these!
Drone is down.
Go, go, go!
All missiles away.
Gotta go!
Reloading.
Gosh dang it, man.
Reloading. Right here. Smoke's down.
Where's Bouillon?
One enemy remaining.
Okay, time for a protein shake.
Go, go, go!
Close gonna fake B. Just play quiet.
Launching smoke.
Enemy spotted B.
Launching smoke.
Gotta go!
Down and out. My
You had your fun. My
This.
turn.
Smoke's down. Reloading. Spike planted. Molly.
Face your fear! I'm out of here!
Oh, okay.
Last player standing.
Open up the sky.
Oh. I think we got it.
Clutch.
My ult is ready. I'm out of here. Reloading. Gotta go.
Locating targets.
Out of charges. Dropping smoke. I'm
One
out of
suppressed.
here. Yeah.
Headshot.
One enemy remaining.
Spike planted.
Flawless.
Go, go, go.
Well done.
I'm out of here.
Launching smoke.
Go, go, go!
Reloading.
Spike planted.
Reloading.
Trap trapped. Watch your expire.
Reloading. Reloading. Down. Right between the eyes.
One enemy remaining.
Go, go, go!
Joke's
Watch
over!
out, gotta
You're
go.
dead!
They're all there, I think.
Go, go, go!
This is how it ends.
Out of charges.
Oh my gosh.
I want to eat.
That's a kill.
I'm out of here. Gotta go. Back like I never left.
Spike planted.
Gotcha. My ult's ready.
One enemy
Take it
remaining.
out. I'm out of here. Out of charges.
Spike down B.
On the money.
An afterthought. My love is ready. Dust.
Denial active. Now we're good.
Last player standing.
Locating targets. Drone is down. All missiles away.
30 seconds left. One enemy
Yogananda.
remaining.
Light munition.
Last round before the switch.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Go, go, go.
Multiple enemies
Neon, you.
What?
Spike planted. Face your fear!
Reloading. Reloading. Molly.
One enemy remaining.
You will not kill my ally.
One enemy remaining.
I'm out of here.
Switching sides.
I'm out of here.
Smoke's down.
Drone is down.
Launching smoke.
Take it down. Down you go.
One enemy remaining.
Someone grab a mop.
Spike spotted B.
Watcher expired.
Reloading.
Match point.
Go, go, go.
Drone is down.
I'm out of here.
Denial active.
Go, go, go.
Trap trigger. Watcher expired.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Woo! Gotta go. I'm out of here.
Negating. Three
Go,
suppressed.
go, go.
Watcher expired.
Joke's
Bye-bye.
over! You're dead!
Hot shot.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
Alright.
Enemy spotted.
Gotta go! Face your fear!
Trap triggered.
Go, go, go!
One suppressed. Negating.
I'm out of here.
Watcher expired.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Shock something. Refreshing. I'm out of here. Go, go, go!
Drone going out. Drone is down.
Drop!
Gonna fight Phoenix.
Launching missile.
You will not
down.
kill
Watch
my
your next
allies!
Rogers. Launching missile.
My ult is ready.
Spike down B.
Spikes.
One enemy remaining.
I never left!
Last player standing.
Drop in a storm.
Live munition.
Defenders win.
Let's go, baby. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go. I'm taking. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Alright, I'll take that. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Maisu, not bad. I gotta make dinner. Looks like I'm gonna make some dinner. Be right back. Wow.
Exactly. EG, different story. Complete.
Sato is up there when it comes to waylays in Americas, or maybe even in the whole world, right? I think he's such a self-sufficient waylay. Like, he doesn't always need his team to follow up. He's really good at using his util to isolate fights just for himself.
And that's the thing about this whole team. You think about them individually and how they're playing together when they're playing these slow rounds. It's not their own 5-stack, side. They're all playing around the map, and King is trusting that if it comes down to a 1v1 duel, anybody can get it, and Sato's one of them who gets it the most.
Yeah, I mean, when you have players at this capacity, when it comes to just raw mechanics, I would trust any one of them in a 1v1, right? Even in a 1v2, go get your multi-kills.
I mean, Sato, it was the top performer yesterday, like without a doubt. He definitely kept Leviathan in that game.
Yeah, it was a lot of him and those first kills that he was getting, and then to close it out, it was King. And I was so curious to see where the maps were going to go, because that really shapes if it's going to be as close as our first match of today was or not. Vine Breeze and Abyss, I really like this Vine.
You really like the Vine?
I really like the Vine.
Expecting some sick waylay stuff coming out of Sato?
Not only the waylay, but also King and the things that he was doing yesterday, those clutches. I just feel like this is his map.
Yeah, and I feel like they are really good at getting those first picks, like I said, and then kind of playing a little bit slow, because on this map, you kind of have to push down to get more info so you can start stacking towards sites. We saw it just in this match before where 100 Thieves was kind of struggling on their gambles because they didn't have that info.
This is what we saw just yesterday when they were playing in Sentinels, and they were really good. No, it's starting mainly on that defensive side where King was closing and saving a lot of the rounds. I want to see the momentum from the team starting on, and that is not really something that I'm worried about for Lev. This is a team that's very cool, calm, and collected, even in moments under pressure.
This feels like a very, not outdated comp, but definitely nothing new here without a waylay. You know, going back to the Raze, going back to the Chamber, but why change things if they're working, especially for Penny on that Raze? He is so good at that.
Yeah. Playing it safe when everything is on the line. Both of these teams are fighting for elimination, or against elimination rather. So let's send it over for our first pistol round to our casters. Here's Riff and Vincili.
Thank you so much. So in the desk, we do get into our second elimination match of the day, and it is going to be kind of a reboot for both teams, a toss-up to see what's going to happen. I feel like it's going to be a scrappy one, but we are definitely going to get a good series.
That's true. The sequel of this matchup is definitely a little bit of a reboot in terms of role changes. You see Oxy coming back, playing a little bit of a secondary duelist, now even Chamber going into certain maps now, even Lev, the return now of Neon into this roster. Remember the last time these two teams played against each other, it was a whole different composition from Lev, but also you saw some insecurities and unfamiliarities in terms of the roles and positioning that the players played around the roster. But now, as soon as they got into a full 5-man for Leviathan, they've been looking very good, especially with Neon on this Yoru on Vine. But we're kicking things off in a pistol round here on Breeze, and it is going to be a firefight for Leviathan, looking for distance, long-range distance, and potentially just a gruesome battle once they go for the execution because of the lack of utility they're going to use in this round. Lots of shares, 4 across the board, and this ghost of 4 kings, so they could go for the maybe a fake and then a full pop towards the end.
Let's see how much they tempt. Trying to just source information around the map. Oxy has the shorty for once he shows Headhunter to just collapse on anybody that tries to get into the U-Haul area. And they'll go for a quick peek. So at least they know they got Rendezvous off the rip. Quick one from Vic there. A nice peek out towards long just for information, but they got a confirm there. And they swing for the kill. Now it's a rotate back over as Lev is still creeping up towards A. The shorty's still available. They're going to know it for a second, but the haunt gets Oxy caught out. And Lev now has control of that front site, but they don't seem happy just yet. King, he's going to solidify that. And Lev across the map here are able to do work as C9 is just looking for a way back in, but it's not going to happen.
Tap it by is looking so good within these pistol rounds, especially you're playing against a team that, or just in general against teams that will have to buy util to try to stall. So you're playing half shields, maybe no shields at all. So that's 2 body shots, a kill. And Leviathan used that to their advantage despite losing a player in the first place. The rest of it looked very clean for the control into U-Haul. When you had that jiggle and the forced TP out from Oxy, it already gave a little bit of a space for Leviathan to move up. But all that was also thanks to Spike Zeen's insert into Hookah to cut these, get these picks off the rotate.
So nice. Really with that, like you said, low util for the round, they have to use everything they do have accordingly. Let's see how they pop into the second round here. Vic, only one able to really find one of the enemies on that round. So they're just going for the full classic buy here. No real purchase into too much. Oh, they're getting behind the smoke.
We'll have a pop.
Always good for a few here if they can really get surprised, and Lev knows what's going on. Zelsis able to take down 2, so the damage sticks a little bit, but still 3 alive are going to be happy here for Lev as they can play this one out pretty safe.
Give it some respect just to figure out where Penny could be at. You see the positions. Neon still watching that showers. You're not creeping into B yet. You don't want to walk solo into the site, but
yeah,
that was an easy punish from Leviathan. They tried to flash peek out, but the flash was still inside the Brimstone smoke. So once they flooded out, none of the players here from Leviathan were really blinded, and you didn't really give yourself a chance here to do that damage. But smart play for Leviathan, sorry, to stick together, move forward for this plat. While Penny's still looking for a weapon in the end.
Good shot there from Neon to clean it up on the Outlaw, and it's not too bad. Lev controlled their first few rounds. Do they have an answer for the bonus is the question. We'll have to see what C9 will do to really give them something to think about. We've seen them going aggressive from the defensive side to do this. They did that second round. Will they do it again?
And both of these teams, not necessarily against each other, but throughout this kickoff, had good results in their defensive sides. Responsibility a lot onto the snipes. We've seen the C9 versus G2 game. It was a lot about the Oxy versus Baby Bay. Lots of rounds where C9 lost, where G2 were doing a lot of clutches as well. You got to clean up that act a little bit better here to have a strong start on their first half. But Neon has a excellent position until now. He peeks a little bit too much, so that gives his position away. But with the jump spawn, he does get a little bit. He knows it's at least Oxy still playing on top of this A site. They're weak towards B.
Ooh, very aggressive by Vic to go into Hookah, but always good for one if he can get that quick situation. Loves to play aggressive on his opponents. And right now, Lever just going to insert and keep walking around the map. It looks like they may get Sato to do some kind of fake here in a little bit.
Actually, Lev thought that they were weak for C9 on that B side.
Yeah.
Sato swings out, half HP remaining. Into the mid round, that dog actually spots Neon into showers.
Big info.
And because he's so passive, I like this push from Cloud9. Double it up. Let them take that short space. It gives a chance for the players to rotate from spawn and to try to punish Neon in showers.
Secondary, Oxy tries to take the place and get the firefight in their favor as a quick trade comes on the front side of site, but still waiting to break that backside defense. King, can he get the crown? He cannot. Zelsis drops him right away, and now it's the rotation over. Again, front side is still there for Lev, but they have to figure out where the defense is coming from. The timing is just there in favor of Cloud9 so well, but the shots for Neon are there. You can't say no. Zeppa takes him out. 2-1 now as the bonus round will not go in favor of the Lev.
And C9 has already identified these late lurks and inserts. Zeppa gets the instant punish. I think that was Sato trying to creep up into Hookah, and he picks him off. And we were talking about that slow playstyle. Emily and Dandrai were mentioning how Leviathan likes to play slow, call slow, because they like to play these inserts. Remember also their own game against Sentinels. Although they had an excellent defensive side, it was still a matchup that went into OT. Because of how slow things were, you started identifying where these lurks could be. King was also left in multiple occasions alone on an island while the rest of the team were just falling like dominoes on the execution. So the game plan, although it forces a lot of rotates, you also have to make sure you keep bodies on site where you're able to enter. If not, that slow pace style is going to bite you in the ass.
Quick positioning just to get in. Only 20 seconds in the round, and they're already going to have an insert into showers for Neon, and they can work whatever they want across the map. Quick search, and that sees nothing. Again, with the insert already here, Lev could be falling into a bit of a trap, but it's safety with the Waylay peeking first.
That's one way of staying alive here when you're not playing like a Whaler or a Yoru. Paint shells to push the line, but he's walking down. And that's a slight mistake to start. You're trying to find that information in the mid-round. Now you're forcing potentially players to start rotating out to find some info. You're trusting out Oxy solo on the A site because you do have this trip on short still and has never been activated within this round. And that will confirm some bodies at that spot, but at the same time, Leviathan did fall back, so they've lost control of that showers. So this early rotating gamble from C9 still works out for now.
30 seconds left.
Until Kid calls the audible. Let's just gamble up into the short push.
And they've got the soft side. We saw this from Lev in their past game too. Wind that clock down, try to find the soft site, and they've got it again here towards A. They're still going to have to deal with 4 members on the side of C9 once that spike is planted. Quick peeks from both ends. Omnipresent is Cloud9 on the site take right off the bat. And they find this now in a 3v4 situation. Make that 2 for the side of Lev.
King still has a lineup to work with, though, so it's Blows that has to play hero in U-Haul. Getting one would be perfect.
Tries to peek it now. And Oxy on that lower angle. There were just too many for Blows to look at here as King may try to get 1 or 2 if they swing him, but he's got to be cautious. Oh, Celsius is just going to swing it outright to let them know if he's there. The correct choice. The defuse comes through in a second round here for Cloud9 as they keep 4 alive there.
And that's why it's smart for King to not throw that molly despite it looking like an impossible scenario. He just wants to try to find a surprise attack and maybe chances go on his side. But this is what we're talking about, why it's so important for C9 to re-clear towards that showers and hold that spot. How quick you can rotate through the TP, knowing that there's no opponents on that other side.
Baby.
Because you still have bodies at that spot. And Oxy was still watching it the whole time. It punishes some players for Leviathan on that slow rotate back into showers. Tying up the game 2-2, Leviathan's on a broken econ. They're gonna try to go for a quick 4-1.
Walking up. What's going to give that shotgun space? It looks like both duelists are actually there. There should be an explosion onto the site as the honk goes over. All the eggs in one basket here as they crash onto B. Possibility for a teleport's gone now as C9 wipe the floor with Lev on the site entry. Everyone prepared for that. A beautiful job by Zelsis and Zeppa to hold the site down.
Yeah, Zelsis, a great start for him so far as the IGL. That loss against G2, he was really not present in the fights. Didn't have the best results that he wanted in terms of fragging capabilities on the side of Cloud9, but doing a great job chasing a couple of these eco kills. The crossfire is perfect with his teammates. But you'll take that anytime. Build that confidence up. You're going to reach a flow state in your calls too.
Very clean. Kind of, and even on the retakes, they're being very organized here. They were at the soft site last round and still came away with 4 alive, right? So making it work, staying very safe, playing their lives to the end of these rounds. Because again, Leviathan will take it to the end of the rounds. Util into shower to start here. Sato staying clean on this as the spike rotates for Lev towards the left side. A peek from both Zelsis and Penny. And they want this space back.
At least Sato identified that pressure into showers.
Yeah.
So right now as you're pushing and prodding, you're seeing how C9 likes to react for these mid rounds. They're re-clear towards showers. C9 knows about these late inserts towards hookah. So both IGLs now have to rethink how they want to approach these plans to find these gaps. Starts off with this op for Neon as well.
In so much of the info grabbing, default on default for Lev here. Once again in the round to insert one, get it back. It's so easy with the Yoru, so they can just get back to the fight like they are heading towards A once again. Oxy on that line. All the way back to spawn for safety after a shot. He just stays, actually. Doesn't even worry about the rendezvous. Looks for another one. Sees ahead, but he goes low and takes blows down. Spike's finally grabbed once again here, and Lev are just kind of left wondering, going for the 1v1s now, and Spike's going to make that work.
You got to start hurting you up, though. They're rotating into showers with 15 seconds left in the Spike. It almost looks like they're giving it up.
Always have an idea, but a hard time to make that commitment work. It seems Oxy makes it a 3rd kill, and they are just going to hang out by shower for this one. Lev save out instead of pressuring in on that chamber with a little bit of util with something else other than bodies once Oxy takes his first shot and they don't hear the rendezvous.
Yeah. Spike Zine pretty much just looking for some damage control. try to make it expensive for C9 within the next rounds, but looks like Leviathan really wanted to save the operator into this next round.
True.
Interesting too, when Neon drops the op for blows, they just go for a body peek. They didn't really try to use their own util to scout where Oxy could be hiding, which they had never found out at the beginning of the round. That is not something you really want to do here going to your later rounds on your attack side. The more you're going to try to play the contact play on a slow style, the more it's easier for the Opera on the defense to be ready for these type of picks.
Back in a flash.
They'll change the tempo a bit.
Oxy changes positions as well. Has a little bit of help from Vic here. Oh, and it's going to be his peek too with Vic's runaway steps. Baits in a peek as Oxy swings back out of the smoke. Beautifully done by those two.
Oxy is looking very clean on the op so far. He is shutting down every lane that he's taking.
Wall down. Blow is trying to stay on a line here. And it's most active we've seen Lev really get at the beginning of a round. Neon's going to help on that right. Oh, almost a haircut for Vic. He sees King's shoulder. Oh, the Pauldron of Brimstone gives him up. And they are just going to be losing numbers across the map now. Have to reset and resort themselves as Spike gaining a bit of that space that Lev might be able to work with an A.
And it's almost like clockwork. The wall comes up. They're going to check that corner close to that minute mark. They see the insert, punish it again. But thankfully, Spike one more time gets a lurk kill and opens it up. Although Neon gets caught.
Penny answers. Still able to get himself sorted out on who might have timed him. But Spike, the big name this round, the kingpin of what could happen, takes a hit from Oxy there. And the ult goes down. Now up to the rookie. Blows, seeing if he can capitalize on this round and bring it within 1 to Cloud9. Tucks himself and just tries to delay.
Had the lineup too, but now the jig is up.
Still hasn't heard the spike. 8 bullets left. Playing the jiggle peek. They're getting high-low, trying to use protection to chamber here, and it's not going to be enough. Halves and the off by Penny and both Oxy for the shot. Well played. Tempting that round, but C9 still going to grab it.
Yeah, a huge pick by Oxy, defending his teammate. Or sorry, by Penny defending Oxy as he was defusing, and that allows for him even towards the end to get the showstopper in this round. It's 5 unanswered rounds since C9 has built up that economy. You see all these mistakes now, even tucking in that corner, you think you have a timing, but your gun's sticking out, half your body's sticking out. It's an easy wall bang for the B defenders. And now there's a lot to fix here going to the next few rounds, and I feel like you need to have that conversation with your team for owner. You have to avoid the up. Have different ways for the inserts. I think inserts towards the showers are having a buddy system. As they have their attempt to work towards the showers, towards hookah, C9 likes to re-clear towards showers. So if they're going to give that space in the very beginning, that's an opportunity for the operator probably to take that space for Neon, because he's still trying to find gaps and openings on the attack side op, and he's always had that vision blocked by the Viper wall in the mid-round. Now it allows for him to creep up a little bit better within the A site if it continues to be fairly passive for C9 at the end of these defensive rounds. But one step at a time. First one is avoid Oxy in the first place, or try to find ways to stop him. This conversation was there as well from Zeppa with Golden Boy when they arrived here at the arena. How do you stop somebody that's red hot like Neon? And so far, they really didn't have to.
You only
they didn't have to do
down.
much. Yeah, they didn't have to slow him down because they're just finding opening and easy picks almost gifted to them at this point. Sato should be the one receiving gifts. It's his birthday.
Where is Flowers? All right. They could saturate orbital strike. It is a lower buy here for Lev, but they have options. The default has been their playbook. Are they going to employ one of these faster strats? Dimensional drift to start us off, clearing that long position, but Oxy's not giving it up just yet. How big is this going to be? They are bringing everything and raining it down on the B site for the side of Lev. The orbital strike grabs 2, and quickly, just like that, Leviathan are on top here to put some defense on the site.
What a nice trap play. Using ults, double ults to clear it out, forcing the TP back from Oxy right into the Brimstone ult. Now Blows has 4 position.
1 enemy remaining.
Just takes a little bit of tempo, it seems like. Get the hearts going, get the aim online here for Lev. A really nice hit on this round. Penny's definitely gonna have to save the ult. He'll get backstabbed here by Blows, and that's gonna be a quick round for Lev. Out of the timeout, they attack on the low buy. Ultimates were used, but hey, he came away with the W.
Yeah, definitely. because now it brings you back in the game. Your economy's back up because you had a Thrifty, and you leverage those ultimates to the best of its capabilities when you're on this in this Thrifty round. So again, try to find that information early, and it did exactly that. Not only with the Hawk spawning Oxy in the first place, but the Dimensional Drift confirms where those players are at. The Saturate slows them down. And they have the perfect combo, despite even Vic getting 2 kills in the first place. It's a weird way to celebrate.
Yeah.
Thrifty.
He wants more. All right. Quick Prowler into showers as long as being watched. So again, Lev trying to touch both sides of those extremities to make sure they're known.
I just realized maybe I was looking at the wrong head when they're looking at the camera. I couldn't make the difference between owner and Gimme.
Oh, that was an owner head. That was an owner head.
That said, though, things will calm down once again, and we're just talking about how you want to leverage the op. A contact play potentially, but I think you want to play it safe. They've been running into a lot of these dry peaks into Oxy's op.
Yeah.
Blows is already there, hip to hip with Neon. They decide otherwise. They don't really want to give their positions away yet.
And they're playing methodical on the side of Cloud9. They're not pressured at all, so you get the 1-minute dog in the shower, and then maybe the 30-second guiding light if you still have one, and one for retake just to clear long. Really setting the pace of what Lev could even be doing based on that information grab. Oxy's the 30-second check towards long, and they do have an idea here, but it could be a TP. Showers is controlled by Lev, and this could all be a ruse. They get the Seekers out towards A, and see it backpedaling.
Beautiful.
They're waiting on it, though, Vans. Can they sell this still?
They have to. They pinged and confirmed 3 players, so they know one's in the pit, and there's maximum that player right in the back of the site. So they open it up for Leviathan, and they make an easy 4v4, and you can flip the map for the plant. But there's only 12 seconds left, and by the time they plant, C9's already closed that gap on a rotate from spawn.
Penny Showstopper out of this one to be used. Vic, though, knows how to play inside the pit. A few shots back and forth. It's still going to leave Blows alive inside that pit. You make a little noise there. I think he just did a fast step and kept it from making noise, but he's found. No. Vic knows where he's going. Searches him out. And nicely done by C9 here. It does not seem like they're kind of put off by having to retake it all. Zelsis has the team flowing together here in these situations.
Yeah, King thought that he had the timing to go inside that pit, but we haven't made too much noise yet for Leviathan after they planted. Flip that site towards that back of A. Pushing towards the spawn solo, and that's also a very tough call.
Oh, good. It's all good. Let's drink some water. Let's go.
Yeah, for a Spike to push alone into the spawn, knowing that the rotate should be on that side. When Blows, again, with the ult, spawned 3 players into spawn, or into the B site, and nobody TP'd yet. So it was optimistic for him to try to go for that peak, but he got instantly punished and didn't give a chance for Leviathan to set up in the post plant. And even then, to double hold into the smoke. I love that bait. We'll talk about it in a second right now as Oxy gets another player advantage for C9 this round.
Being active on this default, why not? I mean, if Levero is going to be back there looking for things to happen quietly, why don't you just yell in their face right away? Vic does it again into Hookah, and they are being relentless on these rounds where you said they've seen Lev trying to creep up all this secrecy that is almost getting them in trouble because they're not using the util to get there.
It's like the responsibility of Vic just to shut down that Hookah in the mid-round. But just want to talk about that trip that was placed inside that smoke. It was actually pretty cool for C9. Right now, if you see the trademark inside that smoke and you want to play it slow for Leviathan, you might want to try to creep into it and just break it and then fall back or force a rotate or something. But C9 holds 2 players inside that smoke in the surprise attack.
30 seconds left.
The walkthrough from Lev. We'll do the same here, and with the time remaining on a full roster for C9 against Leviathan, you have no choice but to save one more time.
Lots of money for Zelsis. He's going hunting. Says, who can I get? I get my Brim ult with 1 kill or death. So he feels good about it. And that's going to be a Brimstone ult for next round. Showstopper's there. And it's going to be even tougher for Lev to get this up online if C9 is doing smoke plays, but also not peeking the long lines that Neon's trying to get on.
That's a positive aspect for sure with the Showstopper being available for Penny. It's been up for a couple of rounds, and they've been able to win these rounds without having to use it. And now Zelsis has his, so that allows him to cycle a couple of these and maybe have a strong close towards the end of the half. That said, you also bring up another great point, Riv, in terms of the comp that that C9 are currently playing. You have brimstone smokes, very thick smokes. You're using it for fort lines. You have the Viper walls on one side as well. When you're trying to play this off on the attack side, where could you really go? So sometimes you'll try to say, okay, well, my opening lanes here are now into showers, into short, but the short still is very hard to clear up very slowly, so it maybe comes down to that shower pick where Oxy, again, if he's choosing to be in that spot, I don't think he's going to lose that one against Neon with what I've witnessed so far within this half.
And we even saw the round where Neon was holding long over there with blows, or either one of them, it was Oxy that just kept the line, right? It's hard to peek a chamber. It's just going to rendezvous away. That's never the safest thing. So it's even hard to get on that line. Oxy's going to be somewhere. And like we're saying, the smokes are going to be other places cutting off the angle, so it becomes tough.
And Owner, when he called a timeout, they went very quickly with double ults. This time around, he calls a timeout when coming back into this one. Sato has his available too. Advantage as well that they have a lot of weapons to work with. But you're seeing that they're playing this 1-1-3. Still trying to look for that extremity control, trying to see if C9 will try to push down towards his B-long in the first place. I think for Neon, he may want to avoid the flash if Zeppa's looking for that early info at the beginning of the round.
Now they have trademark and showers. Okay. Instantly found as they go back to default for Lev. This hookah push. Quick peek out. Oh, that's the second time they've done that for Oxy, to just set the kill up for him by a jump or a fake runaway step.
Not even giving a chance for King to even set up inside hookah this time around. Walking up Sands, it's never been challenged for the last 11 rounds, last 10 rounds, so you're taken down right away.
Saturate in, a lot of info there. Let's Spike get big control on Lamps. Just spits by. Parallel Convergence comboed in.
That stops the showstopper, but now they're kind of a little bit separated across the map. Finally we TP out, but they gotta fight towards this A site for Leviathan now. It's committed.
Zelsis still has that orbital strike, trying to play in the smoke. He's going to be able to walk right up, lines himself up with the truck. Easy frag there, knowing the spike was just outside his smoke. Just playing in secrecy right now from the side of C9, and Spike's looking at every angle to see where these shots might be coming from. And he's even going to have somebody up behind him if it takes long enough. Vic is there. Zelsis with the 3K in sight, playing very patient.
Things get very difficult for Leviathan too. When you're having like double pushes or solo walk forwards, but every single time C9 seems to be winning these duels, it's hard for you to play these slow plays and inserts. Look at the timings that Zelsis keeps finding within his own smokes. Another one where he drops that spike.
Nice, Jordan! You're moving, baby!
He is 15-7 with the Brimstone ult available for the last round.
Oxy's off one too. Expect him to hit a shot. You take that chamber out right away because it's so much faster and so much more effective than the operator itself. And back to a default. This push and pull, this touch and go that I don't. That was close. Actually, no damage as we check the board, as we don't see like the push or the pull of Lev really is making C9 consider moving too much. And if they are, it's for Zelsis to call the team on a full retake anyways.
This is actually not bad here. It's slow still from Leviathan, but he avoided that flash. When you're trying to find out information from Zeppa and somehow you still creep down for info and get one.
He's insane. Walks out of his rendezvous like, oh, this is normal.
That's what happens when you're winning every single fight across the board. You find that confidence and it has yet to be punished.
Penny playing on the truck for the first time. Catches Spike off guard here. C9 still giving different looks as we're in the last round of the first half from the defensive side. 5 alive as they're cleaning up the rest of Leviathan inside sight. And even King and Blows need to get hip and hip here before they try anything, but there's just not enough time. Another round that ticks down, and Lev find themselves low on numbers and impossible on clutch right now. 9-3 in the first half for Cloud9 as they just play such a sturdy defense.
Look very simplistic on that side for Cloud9. Leviathan, though, again, it comes down to now that they have the opportunity to play the defense, they definitely have strong looks. It was a game that went to OT against Sentinels, where Sentinels, not the best of looks on their attack side, but it definitely did go back and forth. So still quite surprising that Leviathan still wants to play this map of bind. C9 has a chance to walk away with this.
All right, we'll have to see what's in the defensive playbook of Lev when we come back after this break. Can happen when we switch the sides up, and now this double duelist composition of Lev are going to see what they can do from the defensive side. The retakes are hard and fast, or if we see a little bit more aggression in that early round from them.
Yeah, and we're also hoping that the birthday buff starts activating for Sato. Unfortunately, currently 1 in 10 after the end of the first half. But one thing is that I've noticed, and everybody could agree here so far, is that Leviathan has been quite predictable on their attack side of how they wanted to default, which potentially could also show how they could be predictable on how they like to rotate. Remember, Neon on his top, most likely when he comes back to rotate from the B to the A site, likes to peek outside these smokes on the top of the heaven and try to find timings against his opponents. So if there's a little bit of studying being done here from Mimi's camp and Cloud9, they could definitely shut this down. But Leviathan, this pistol, very similar looks to the first half. 3 instead of 4 shares, but 2 ghosts. So they could try to play Poison Orb on Spike Z.
Oh. Love that little lineup. If anybody swung, that was also King to help. So they clear quite a few at B. And seeing that setup, knowing somebody was in hookah plus a few on top of the tub, is definitely going to let them know there's a protocol for the site. So they want A. On the way back, quick clear, quick run, wall down, and everybody is hip and hip on this one for C9. Oh, right into Lamps. Waiting on the other side. Don't have any shotguns here, so it's going to have to be that true aim. And everybody just pauses at arm's length here.
Looking to walk back and keep Penny inserted.
Spike a little low, so he's timid on really giving this full peek up, but he doesn't think anybody's in yet. So much time had passed there. They're able to still clear it. Okay, blows. Huge information there with Spike going down. He can play his life and just make sure he is a nuisance here in the site. Oh, he's feeling it. Actually, he wants a few more shots. As more Sheriff from the side of Lev come out, it seems like an important weapon for them to close it out. But Vic is an important player for C9 here in the clutch position. Sato's gonna drop, still hidden by the smoke. It's gonna be the last second as it clears, and he clears Vic. A round win for Lev.
What a nice shot by Vic on that second entry from Spawn. And almost found that timing when the smoke was disappearing into hookah. Did some damage onto Sato, but Sato was able to clean it up in the end. But yeah, you're right, when it comes down to the amount of rounds that's been won by Cloud9, how dominating it's been by Cloud9 so far. Some mistakes are starting to show up as well. Not clearing these corners. I'm trying to fight and retake back towards U-Haul. But thankfully, again, it's those shares that help. Good shots by Blows. Already an outlaw in the second round.
Idiots.
Out of range of the TP. I don't even know if Foxy set it down in the first place.
Sometimes you're just looking to get a quick peek and more than you wanted to get bit off there. So 1 down already, good damage onto Neon, but they're happy with the result so far. Taking down Oxy. It's probably going to be a full team peek if you see it next time. Let's see where they go.
Yeah, and for Lev, you're using both of the long-range weapons to cover these extremities, deny these orbs. So it's a nice little look by Lev to start. Defensive wall comes up, though. It gives a chance for C9 to creep up, and I think he just heard these footsteps.
Oh, safe. A lot of ways to get out of that one. And Sato's back on the back line here. Well, C9 should have the front of sight to make this a little weird. Looks like they can caterpillar through this maze of smokes to get themselves in. Vic and the Bandit gets another one. Now it's a question of how they're going to get back in. It's really scary with these classics being close range and how many smokes there are, so Lev has to wait them out.
And I think these smokes just dropped too, so
yeah.
These small classics and bandits from Cloud9 could be devastating for Leviathan if they continue to just walk into these crosshairs, these crossfires.
Laid down right as the spike hit, so that's about half the spike time. Now the orbs are going to actually cycle up. Good damage from bench, that's all they needed to start. Molly's going to start to delay here as Zelsis 1 HP in that orb. Starts to bring decay back up. As the back and forth happens. Vic still alive, just looking for shots. Oh, those were good. Molly, half. Can he turn again? Oh my God, they're gonna win the round. This is ridiculous. Vic on 4. You thought there was gonna be another defuse hit after that half was brought up, but there was no time. And man, they C9 strung that round out.
That was the issue. The smokes came down. You're hesitating for the set of Leviathan. You don't know where Cloud9's been hiding in these crossfires. And he was just trying to get a half at least. But they realized back then, they're like, oh wait, we don't even have time to get a halfway.
Yeah.
So King just decided to stick it. Just dies to the Molly decay. That is a huge thrifty.
They just walked in from showers. Brimstone smokes are 19.25 seconds. So you get basically half the spike time if they're not going to walk in there. You cycle the Viper orbs. Added pressure. Lev did not want. That's crazy.
Yeah. Delayed with the Molly from Brimmy.
Exactly, and Viper.
And Snakebite, there's a lot.
Pulling your hair out in that situation for sure.
Simple round by C9, and Leviathan's on an eco. They do have a good stack though, but not necessarily being able to trade off each other yet.
A few smokes. That's a dangerous spot to be smoking, but protected a little bit by the team. They know how much time is on the wall if they keep it up full. Oh. Good corner clearing here, very disciplined. Penny locking down that duelist spot with a few kills is King with the classic. They got to clear him from inside sight, and that shouldn't be too hard. C9 can't give too much respect to this round. They know they have to worry about some angles, but they should be pushing through with the bigger weapons, and that's what's going to happen.
Neon's already spotted by this boom bot.
Yeah.
Plant will go down, and they'll have the spawn locked.
Oh, that was a little scary on that aim. But Zelsis does not get too hurt. They come out here. Vic's ultimate. Penny's away from 2. And Zelsis again away from orbital strike here. So even if Lev try to start fighting back, they have answers.
And this is pretty much Lev's, for me, first big test going into kickoff, right? The first 2 games that they lost from the upper bracket to the middle bracket was a whole different role switch to Neon not coming in yet. Ever since they joined in, they played against a crew team. They had to, unfortunately, not play with their full roster. Then going into the Sentinels game, it's a team that's in a rebuild that's still trying to find their identity. And now you have a C9, again, that I firmly believe here that a meta currently fits them perfectly. Now it shows here that Leviathan are having a little bit of struggles and some pain points that they need to iron out going into the rest of the series. And they'd love to at least warm up now to try to make this game close. Maybe like what EG just did previously at 100 Thieves earlier on, and try to build the confidence up moving into the next map.
That's the thing. Hopefully you have a time to take a moment and figure out what those little speed bumps are. As C9 waited out here and see if Lev will make a move of their own.
Time to jump.
Just down to a minute. Still a lot of time to play. I wonder if Penny's going to activate a little bit, and then we go at A. I think Penny's the last, actually, spear of this, or the point of the spear.
Welcome to my world.
Molly over. It's very slow. It still seems fake. Waiting for the Molly here to commit another fake plant, maybe? Yeah, Zelsis fake plant to see where they might be, how much side control they have.
Just picked up the orb, so that will delay even more now with the Nightfall. And as they're just trying to do the fight in this section, it was, are they going to fight against this? Can Penny get the rotate across? And now Blows gets the pick on the Zelsis trying to plant.
I was going to say, something needs to happen or we just need to make coffee and hang out because nobody was doing anything. He's going to go all the way to B. This is still going to be a spot. Dashed in, breaking the crosshairs. Still have 8 seconds to plant this one down. It's going to be front sight. Oh, they're going to go inside tube, so that C9 has to stay inside the site to defend this and stay in the face of Lev.
Makes sense. They didn't know how many players were really hanging out outside of their pit, so
exactly.
They're going to play close.
Ooh. Quick handshake from Penny to Sato there in the situation, and Penny and Oxy are just going to handle the front line, pushing Lev back. Neon's going to try to save this off, but it looks like they realize how much health they have. There might be money in their pockets, but there's not a lot of health here, so they're going to back up. A few people would need to do a double buy there, so they save.
Especially at a 12-4 scoreline.
Yeah.
They could let Neon keep the op. They got a lot of Valorant to play with to close out this map for C9. A lot of chances and opportunities. But the idea was there. The pit's going down. You're tapping that spike consistently. You're trying to bait Leviathan to get into the pit, or at least to see if any players are using util. You count how many players are playing around the site, knowing where the weaknesses are. And then hopefully Penny could get the kill at the Spike Zine as he was trying to catch Spike rotating. Yeah, that's a nice little flick once again by Penny. It was dangerous though, because with Zelsis trying to plant and die.
They have an off, you know what that means? 100 Chiefs, dude!
As he died with the spike, he didn't have any more smokes. It was dangerous still for Cloud9 to get into that B side, so good on Penny to be selfless, double satchel and spot Spike Zine so they could trade out each other to get that plant on that B site. But now Orb Strike available. Showstopper already out and they're clearing out A.
Oh, Sato able to refract that. That was actually huge for him. Keeps the Guardian in their hands. Neon starts off on Oxy. Lev need to be able to convert this round to keep themselves in. King finds back of Penny as they're timing this one so well. But now it's a spike down.
Lev has to up the tempo now. You have Orbital Strike and Molly available for C9. You can't play slow anymore.
Somebody's got to tap it. Somebody's got to make a move on Lev that C9 care about. King throws down the Orbital Strike from his side. Zelsa is still holding in the back. Vix on the front just to check if anybody's peeking through this bit of a one-way. One tap. Expect to hear that Orbital Strike. No, he's not throwing it out just yet.
Not going to use it.
Not going to use it. All right, Lev gets a 5th. Nicely done, nicely pressured. Can they take out Zelsis here? Blow's gonna hide on that one. A good confidence by Lev. It's what we have not really seen from them in the previous rounds to get themselves really in the face of C9. They've just been kind of given that space freely.
You're counting on Vic and Zelsis, those last two players, to maybe utilize that one way because no Viper Wall was coming up yet, so he thought he'd be able to get that sight line into anybody trying to defuse in the first place, but Spike stays, but the wall comes up. Blocks the vision. He's trying to just waste the clock down as much as he can. But unfortunately, couldn't get the spray through his own wall and allows Leviathan to just take him down. And looks like Zelsis knew better to save the ult into the next round. While Neon has the op this round and gets pushed away by the boom bot.
Zelsis hit. 10 HP for Sato. There were 3 people ready for that refract. And Penny just kind of hitting his forehead a little bit, was looking for the finisher. But Sato was already out.
Spike planted.
All right, C9 again getting to this plant situation. It doesn't seem like Lev feel too comfortable after this point, but it happens again.
This time you got 5 players though.
I mean, you have to be able to get back in, touch it, get that orbital strike out.
Exactly, that's checkmate.
Got to figure out where Zelsis is going to be throwing this from. No real time to delay. A nice flash coming in to take one out. It's the 4v4 now. Neon has the dimensional drift if he wants to kind of figure out who's on the back line, but I think they need the guns on the front line right now, and he can't go into the pocket dimension.
It's over. Orbital Strike still available.
Yeah, this is going to be a Cloud9 stringing it out very nice. A 4K for Vic to end that round in a 13-5 score line for C9 here as they run circles around Lev on Bind.
Yeah, too slow on the attack, too slow on the defense, and C9 it was just smooth sailing, cruise control across the finish line to steal that map away from Leviathan's pick. Again, we've seen some good ops coming out and some good defensive plays from Leviathan in the first place when they were playing this map, but they didn't even have a chance to play some defense when their attack was unfortunately toppled down by the strong shots from Vic, Zelsis, Oxy. Nothing that he could do against those three players in individual plays.
And they had the rounds for Leviathan where they would do some solo fakes on the extremity that C9 felt comfortable rotating in, but the retakes from C9 also were just so strong, it didn't really matter where Lev was able to put their forces. We still have more coming from the second series of the day. Breeze is up next between Cloud9 and Leviathan. Don't go anywhere.
What can I do for you? For the Alliance. Light be with you.
The thing that I've noticed with my game dev career so far, which is kind of counterintuitive and weird, is that the longer I do it, I'm clearly getting better at it. Like, I feel more comfortable. I feel like a more professional developer. But my understanding of what works and my theories of what makes a successful game is becoming fuzzier and fuzzier.
This is a conversation with my dear game dev friend and former colleague Friedemann Almröder. We made Islanders at university together. After that, he developed some other fantastic games such as Pizza Possum in a different team configuration. He then solo developed Summer House, quite a hit, and he recently released a game called Slots and Daggers. Also very, very successful release. It's a slot machine roguelike.
If someone asks me now how to make a successful game, I find it so difficult to answer, especially compared to we were so arrogant when we were like making the first Grizzly Games stuff. I felt like I had figured out, or at least like I knew some way of making good games. And I felt like I could have given more precise advice on how to make good games. Probably 5 to 10 years ago compared to now.
Because I know Friedemann so well, this conversation really allows us to dive deep and talk about some topics that might otherwise be maybe a bit more difficult to talk about. The foundation of my theory for how to make a successful game is actually to a large degree built on, I think, on your early beliefs. Because when I joined Grizzly Games, right, when I joined you and Paul, you had like this existing theory. There was a lot about appeal, actually. Like my initial ideas about appeal, I think, came from your early ideas about appeal. Do you still think about appeal in a similar way? Do you think like that's a deciding factor in what makes for a successful game, or has that also loosened up a bit?
No, definitely. Like this whole appeal thing, I think a lot of the things that we talked about with Grizzly Games about appeal and player fantasies and all of the things that you still mention regularly, I think about all of them. Just my approach to how to create them has become, I think, maybe more intuition based. I still think a lot about appeal and like what appeal is. Like, how do you get, because I guess the formula of yours that I like the most is the success of a game is basically appeal times retention. I think you said that at some point. Like, how good are you at drawing people in? And then once they're in, how good are you at keeping them, giving them a good experience, making them enjoy their time, maybe write a positive review, stuff like that. I think that's quite a succinct way of putting it. Like, you need to create interest, and then you need to deliver on that intrigue that you created in the first place. But that's, the longer I'm looking at that formula, the more I'm like, oh, Jesus, that's a lot of moving parts that you can factor into that, right?
So it's like a little bit like the advice of saying, just make a good game, but then when you look closer, it's like, what the frick does that even actually mean?
What is a good game? Exactly. Exactly. It feels a little bit like we're telling people, make a good game that looks good at first sight. And then I'm like, yeah, right. Well,
okay, thank you.
Thanks. What's that supposed to do for me? So yeah, I guess maybe what is happening is the longer you make games, the more ways you find of approaching this. You know, like intrigue. I think when we started making stuff with Islanders at university, not with Islanders, with Grizzly Games at university, my appeal model of how to make a game that people want to play was largely based on visuals. I just thought, okay, just make it look really, really visually appealing. Give it like that minimalist aesthetic that was really trendy at the time also, I think, you know, like low poly with saturated nice colors. And then the longer you make games and the longer you play games of other people and the longer you're part of the game dev community, you realize, wow, there are so many people who are so infinitely creative at creating appeal in different ways. It doesn't have to be the visuals. It can be the fantasy. It can be the mechanic. It can be a setting that's really, really cool. There's like so many ways. Yeah, and the longer I look at all of those, the less I feel like I can confidently say, okay, here's how you do it. Here's how I approach it. It just becomes a bigger and bigger collection of potential approaches.
Yeah, it's a similar, like, especially since I started making this podcast and started talking to more developers, I'm like becoming a bit more humble as well, because it's like you see so many different approaches and all the different approaches that are working. That's like, what can you even say to someone who's like, I
it's
want to
hard to
start
argue with,
making
isn't it?
games? Sure. But like, if somebody came to you and asked you, I want to make a successful game, what would you tell them nowadays?
Yeah, so what I would tell, I think the first thing that I still believe is really, really true is make something small. Like, pick a project that feels almost too small in the beginning, something where you feel like it's so ridiculously underscoped. You should have this feeling of, oh, this is going to be easy. Because it's not going to be easy. You know, when you're sitting at home and you're thinking about your new game idea under the shower, you've got this amazing idea for a slot machine game, and you think, oh, this is going to be so easy. I'm going to be able to make this in 6 weeks. That's the feeling you should be looking for, especially in the beginning, because you're not going to be able to do it in 6 weeks. It's going to take way longer. So I think that's the first one. Find something simple, find something that feels almost underscoped. And then, I guess, think really hard about how do you create appeal? How are you going to draw people in when they look at this game for the first time? That's something that I still just spend ages thinking about before I settle on a game. And I think lately my personal reply to it has become more intuition and taste-based. But I think if someone is just starting out with making games, it might be good to just gather references, look at other stuff, like look at a lot of games, see what speaks to you, what do you connect with, and then see how you can put a twist on it. Because I feel like that's the point, isn't it? Like when I'm scrolling Steam or when I'm on Twitter and I'm looking at other game devs' feeds and stuff like that, the thing that makes me connect with things is always when it has this tiny little edge where you're like, this is a fresh take on whatever, on this visual style, on this kind of gameplay formula, on this type of setting. So whatever it is that gives you that edge, really, really look for that. I think that's important. That's the thing that I spend a lot of time thinking about when I'm in this phase of like, okay, a project is done. I'm thinking about what's the new project. I think, how can I make something that's going to stand out enough to intrigue people, but be familiar enough to not alienate them.
Right, so this familiarity scale of being familiar but not too familiar.
Yeah. I think, like recently listened to your episode with Philomena on Dungeon Crawler, and she said something that really connected with me about how Slots and Daggers went, because she basically said, deck builder, roguelikes, everyone knows what that is now. But no one had made one before that was with this claw machine. What are they called? Claw?
They're called claw machines, yeah.
Claw machine,
Dungeon Crawler was the game exactly,
yeah. And that's when I started making Slots and Daggers, that's what I felt like. I was like, okay, I want to make a fantasy deck builder roguelike thing, but combine it with a slot machine, because there were slot machine games out there, there were fantasy deck building games out there, but I felt like in this specific combination, I hadn't seen it done in a way that felt, satisfying to me.
But there's clearly a difference between like pointless innovation and like useful, meaningful innovation, right? So for example, I could also take the roguelike formula and make a completely pointless innovation to it and be like, the hook or the twist I put on it is your toilet man and you have laser eyes. I don't know, this is already good again, because so bad that it's good again. But
I guess. Maybe this is how we find out that there isn't pointless innovation. You just
I don't believe
that.
Let me give a different example. For example, I was doing some consulting for a team that made a Survivors-like game, like a Vampire Survivors-like game. And the twist they put on the game was that they had a very complicated progression system that really like has a lot of complexity in allowing you to customize your attacks. And the question I was wondering about there is that the type of innovation that this genre asks for, right? Because the genre is very fundamentally about simplicity.
Yeah.
So does it make sense to innovate in a way that makes it more complex? You could argue, sure, maybe. But I feel like there are some directions where it doesn't make as much sense as others.
Yeah,
right?
That's 100% true. I agree with that. I think maybe a good way of approaching it is like look for things that work, look for things that have been proven independently, and then combine them. You know, like in the slot machine example with Slots and Daggers, I feel like slot machines have been proven to work quite well. like they're really addictive in quite a
Yes.
toxic way. But I feel like even if if you take the addictive in quite a
Yes.
toxic way. But I feel like even if if you take the real money and you take the toxic addicting mechanics out of it, it's still fun to press around on a slot machine. That most people find that satisfying. And a fantasy deck builder, that's been proven to work. So I think that might be a good approach, to look for things that have independently worked well. And when you think about them, they match somehow.
They need
Once
to match,
someone, once someone says to you a fantasy deck builder slot machine game, you're like, oh yeah, that might make sense. That might be a cool idea. And then combine those. I guess the thing, I guess you just can't take common sense out of it, can you? There isn't a formula where you can, why is the Toilet King with the laser eyes bad? I don't know if we can calculate that. But if you're a good creative, you should be able to tell the difference, right?
Yeah,
that's sort of the satisfying, to me, that's part of the satisfying work of creativity also, that it isn't 100% formulaic. Every time I try to fully drill down and find a perfect, mathable, quantifiable formula, I feel like I'm sort of running into a dead end.
Sure,
Know what I mean?
You can always be like, but in this case, it's not true. And then it's like you have to water down. You have to keep watering down your rules till they become a bit meaningless almost.
I think this is actually getting exactly to the point of why I find it harder and harder to give advice, because I feel like either you make very specific rules and then you're just explaining this one very narrow phenomenon that you're seeing. You can, I think, after something has succeeded, you can go and make a very specific explanation of why it has succeeded. But then it becomes kind of difficult to apply it to other things, because you've just, in this very specific case, explained, okay, why, for example, Slots and Daggers or Islanders, why were these games successful? But that might not apply to the next slot machine game or the next city builder or the next whatever thing. So you either make these very specific things, or I find myself making these broad theories, which then often becomes so broad that I'm like, what am I actually even explaining here? Like, I'm ending up saying, make a good game that works. And I feel like in between those two extremes, I'm finding it harder and harder to find really solid advice. And more I'm thinking you need to think about this stuff and look at it and test it and figure it out and trust your intuition, build your intuition, develop your intuition. Sometimes when we talk about creative theory, we forget that creative work is not completely formulaic.
So it's almost maybe it is formulaic, but the formulas and rules behind it are so complicated that you cannot formulate them simply in language or something. You have to train your brain to understand the complex rules. And that is what you call intuition or taste or something like that.
Yeah, I actually think that puts it really well. I sometimes feel like if you follow all these rules perfectly, there are too many. It's too complicated. The system is too chaotic to do it on a rules-based level that you can explain on a podcast. We can definitely say helpful stuff here to people. We can give advice that's really helpful, I think. Talking about appeal, talking about things that have worked for us and stuff, and they will help hopefully shape someone's mental model. But I think this mental model has to always have quite a lot of space for intuition, for gut feeling, for living. And that extremes, I'm finding it harder and harder other things. That's sort of the satisfying, to me, that's part of the satisfying work of creativity also, that it isn't 100% formulaic. Every time I try to fully drill down and find a perfect, mathable, quantifiable formula, I feel like I'm sort of running into a dead end.
Sure,
know what I mean?
You can always be like, but in this case, it's not true. And then it's like you have to water down. You have to keep watering down your rules till they become a bit meaningless almost.
I think this is actually getting exactly to the point of why I find it harder and harder to give advice, because I feel like either you make very specific rules and then you're just explaining this one very narrow phenomenon that you're seeing. You know, you can, I think after something has succeeded, you can go and make a very specific explanation of why it has succeeded. But then it becomes kind of difficult to apply it to other things because you've just, in this very specific case, explained, okay, why, for example, Slots and Daggers or Islanders, why were these games successful? But that might not apply to the next slot machine game or the next city builder or the next whatever thing. So you either make these very specific things, or I find myself making these broad theories, which then often become so broad that I'm like, what am I actually even explaining here? Like, I'm ending up saying, make a good game that works. And I feel like in between those two extremes, I'm finding it harder and harder to find really solid advice. And more I'm thinking, you need to think about this stuff and look at it and test it and figure it out and trust your intuition, build your intuition, like develop your intuition. You know, sometimes when we talk about creative theory, we forget that creative work is not completely formulaic.
So it's almost maybe it is formulaic, but the formulas and rules behind it are so complicated that you cannot formulate them simply in like language or something. You basically you have to train your brain to understand the complex rules. And that is what you call intuition or taste or something like that.
Yeah, I actually think that puts it really well. I sometimes feel like if you follow all these rules perfectly, there are too many. It's too complicated. The system is too chaotic to do it on a rules-based level that you can explain on a podcast. We can definitely say helpful stuff here to people. We can give advice that's really helpful, I think. Talking about appeal, talking about someone. It's too complicated.
The complex rules you have to simply in like language or something. You basically you have to train your brain to understand the complex rules, and that is what you call intuition or taste or something like that.
Yeah, I actually think that puts it really well. I sometimes feel like if you follow all these rules perfectly, there are too many. It's too complicated. The system is too chaotic to do it on a rules-based level that you can explain on a podcast. We can definitely say helpful stuff here to people. We can give advice that's really helpful, I think. Talking about appeal, talking about like things that have worked for us and stuff, and they will help, hopefully, shape someone's mental model. But I think this mental model has to always have quite a lot of space for intuition, for gut feeling, for lived experience, for that sort of stuff. I find myself valuing that higher and higher the longer I make games.
Right, but when we say gut feeling and intuition, then I think some people might overshoot and interpret this as, oh, it's like completely luck or something like that. Do you think that game dev is to a large degree luck?
No, I think you can. If you have a good process, I think you can eliminate a lot of luck. Like definitely, I think there's a lot of luck and privilege in how you get into a position where you even get to develop games and stuff. But if we put that aside, if you are able to make games, I think there's good processes that you can build to verify if your ideas work beforehand, and then you can just like generate enough ideas until you end up with one that's successful. But how to generate that idea and like picking which of the 20 ideas you have under the shower is the correct one. I think there is still something sort of like fuzzy. There's something hard to grasp in there, to me at least.
And what would you say, what are good ways to develop this intuition and taste so that my brain does spit out the correct ideas under the shower?
Yeah, that's the difficult question, isn't it? How do you do that? I think a lot of it has to do with consuming stuff, with looking at things, like being interested in games, being interested in art, being interested in culture, popular culture, whatever fascinates you. I think if you spend a lot of time exposing yourself to things that speak to you, you refine your taste and your intuition and your ability to make those decisions. Like I read this really interesting, it was I think it was the prelude to a book by Kojima, the legendary game designer, and he said, I think the book was a compilation of other books that he's read and recommends to people. I think the book was a legendary game design book by Kojima, the legendary game designer, And he said, I think the book was a compilation of other books that he's read and recommends to people. And the intro to the book was him saying that he, I think every day or like at least multiple times a week, he goes after work into a bookstore and he looks at the books and he tries to pick out different books, takes them home and reads them. And he sees this as an exercise in refining his intuition in picking a good book. So he like, based on the limited information that he gets from the book, like the cover design, the title of the book, the little blurb on the back, reading it, he tries to make a gut decision on, oh, is this going to be like a hit book for me personally? Is this going to really speak to me? Or is it, when I actually read it, is it going to be not as good as I hoped? And then he describes this as sort of the craft of refining his intuition. And he says that for his day-to-day, where he has to make, because he's directing a large team, he has to make like hundreds of these gut-based direction decisions. This is the kind of work that helps him get better at that. And for him, it's a bookstore, but I feel like that can be anything. That can be music, like digging through, I don't know, record shops or Spotify playlists. It can be going to the cinema and like really connecting with films. It can be looking at photography exhibitions, whatever. But I think that's an important work for if you want to do successful creative work. I think it's important to refine this intuition.
So it surprisingly sounds very similar to how people talk about AI, right? It's kind of like you need good training data. Garbage in means garbage out, right? If you want to train your own neural net to detect like good game ideas and develop good tests, then you need good training data. Like if you, I mean, maybe that's a weird analogy. I'm not sure.
No, I actually think it's, it feels edgy somehow because of how opposed AI sometimes feels at the moment to creatives being able to make a living. But it's a good analogy. Like the training data that you put in when you're sitting there at your computer and you're making your game, the only thing that can come out is the sum of all of the things that you've put in and all the combinations between those. So, yeah. I think that's a good way of looking at it, like improving your training data.
Do you see creativity as like a remixing process, or do you see creativity as a creation process?
Remixing, 100%.
Okay.
I don't know if this is like scientifically true whatsoever, but my mental model of how creativity works is there's a million things in your brain and you can bash them together. And sometimes if what feels like something truly creative, like a groundbreakingly new thing, is like a really fortunate combination of two old things that make something seem very new. Or sometimes it's a combination of like 5 old things that make something new. But I deeply believe in this model of you can only combine things in your mind. You're not actually coming up with new stuff.
Right, you can only combine a slot machine and a roguelike if you know what both of those things are. Otherwise you can't have that idea.
Yeah, and then there's like these really creative people out there who don't think, ooh, deck building, roguelike, slot machine. They think, I don't know, how is concrete made? But how is concrete made in Japan for brutalist Japanese architecture? And then how does that interfere with the manufacturing of speaker system? And then they come up with these like wild, and how does Mario Kart factor into that? And then you get these like truly creative, insane seeming ideas. But I think there's still combinations of stuff. They're just very out there combinations.
Right. So like building tastes maybe could also
very out creative in wild, and how does marry the manufacturing of speaker system, and how does that for brutalist but how is concrete made in Japan for brutalist Japanese architecture, and then how does that interfere with the manufacturing of speaker system? And then they come up with these like wild, and how does Mario Kart factor into that? And then you get these like truly creative, insane seeming ideas. But I think there's still combinations of stuff. They're just very out there combinations.
Right. So like building tastes maybe could also be seen as like building your library of things that you can combine with other things, maybe almost, right?
Yeah. And also I think like for me personally, I find it more and more important to be able to make a judgment call on something. I like being able, when you look at a painting, for example, or when you look at a screenshot of a prototype that you're working on, being able to decide whether you like it, and then also being able to say why you like it and analyze like what's the thing that draws me to this, you know? Because I feel like if you fill yourself with tons and tons of references, but you don't have a good idea of, am I actually drawn to these and why am I drawn to these? It can like be a bit overwhelming. Whereas if you collect a lot of things that you deeply connect to, like a specific type of music and a specific type of visual, then you can go back in and combine those, and it, I think, has a high chance of creating something unified, that because you like all of these things and the combination of them appeals to you, there's a high chance that other people who have a similar taste or have had similar experiences to you might also be drawn to that. What's your model actually? I'm interested. Do you think creativity is creation or combination?
No, I also think it's remixing. I agree to your take. I think you put it quite well. Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of, this is very much the nerdy interpretation of this, right? But what you're saying is almost a little bit like the difference between feeding your brain labeled versus unlabeled data. So you wanna, like, when consuming stuff, you wanna immediately label it as, do I like this, do I not like it, and why? So that your brain can better make sense of it and better combine it with other things almost.
Yeah, putting little tags on the images in the reference gallery.
You wanna tag all of the incoming information so that it's more easily accessible.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, I was almost worried you were gonna go in the direction you wanna be able to judge stuff immediately, and you should be able to judge people at first glance.
Yeah. You need to be able to judge a book by its cover, famously. That's the
Yeah, it's very good for a sec.
No, I think just being able to make judgment calls and to make them also in like a slightly analytical way, I think that's an important skill. I think sometimes this sort of stuff doesn't get talked about enough in games because we spend so much time rightfully talking about like the technical aspects of game development, and then we have developed like a huge language of talking about how to do marketing for games and how to sell games. You know, there's so much content about these two facets of it, tech and like marketing, sales type stuff. But I think I wish we had more discourse or more content about how does the actual creative work happen? How does like, besides making something and validating whether it's commercially,
between feeding your brain, maybe almost, right?
Yeah. And also I think, like for me personally, I find it more and more important to be able to make a judgment call on something. I like being able, when you look at a painting, for example, or when you look at a screenshot of a prototype that you're working on, being able to decide whether you like it, and then also being able to say why you like it and analyze like what's the thing that, and then also being able to decide whether you like it, and then also being able to say why you like it and analyze like what's the thing that draws me to this, you know? Because I feel like if you fill yourself with tons and tons of references, but you don't have a good idea of, am I actually drawn to these and why am I drawn to these? It can be it can like be a bit overwhelming. Whereas if you collect a lot of things that you deeply connect to, like a specific type of music and a specific type of visual, then you can go back in and combine those, and it, I think, has a high chance of creating something unified, that because you like all of these things and the combination of them appeals to you, there's a high chance that other people who have a similar taste or have had similar experiences to you might also be drawn to that. What's your model, actually? I'm interested. Do you think creativity is creation or combination?
No, I also think it's remixing. I agree to your take. I think you put it quite well. Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of, this is very much the nerdy interpretation of this, right? But what you're saying is almost a little bit like the difference between feeding your brain labeled versus unlabeled data. So you wanna, like, when consuming stuff, you wanna immediately label it as, do I like this, do I not like it, and why? So that your brain can better make sense of it and better combine it with other things almost.
Yeah, putting little tags on the images in your reference gallery.
You wanna tag wanna tag all of the incoming information so that it's more easily accessible.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, I was almost worried you were gonna go in the direction you wanna be able to judge stuff immediately, and you should be able to judge people at first glance.
Yeah. You need to be able to judge a book by its cover, famously. That's the...
Yeah, it's very good for a sec.
No, I think just being able to make judgment calls and to make them also in like a slightly analytical way, I think that's an important skill. I think sometimes this sort of stuff doesn't get talked about enough in games because we spend so much time rightfully talking about like the technical aspects of game development, and then we have developed like a huge language of talking about how to do marketing for games and how to sell games. You know, there's so much content about these two facets of it, tech and like marketing, sales type stuff. But I think I wish we had more discourse or more content about how does the actual creative work happen? How does, like, besides making something and validating whether it's commercially valid, how do you make something in the first place? How do you make the thing that you then validate?
Well, I'm not sure how you feel, but I very much feel like the conversation has started shifting a little bit, because I feel like more developers are realizing, I'm not sure, maybe I'm also part of that shift, or maybe it's just my bubble, I'm not entirely sure. But people, I feel like, are starting to notice that ideas are becoming more important. Maybe that's because execution is becoming easier and easier. So now we're once again shifting to, okay, the ideas actually do very much matter. So I think that conversation definitely has started a lot more. Yeah.
That's actually really true. Yeah, that's a good point about why this is happening. Like there used to always be the saying, like, everyone has a million ideas for games. It's all about the execution. And I remember us at university talking about that quite a lot, that it's so much more about execution than it is about the idea.
Yeah.
And like you say, like, I guess also because we are at a later point in our career now where we don't struggle with the execution as much anymore, it comes around and it becomes so much more about the idea again. Like, if I execute this idea well, is it going to really connect with people? Is it going to be something really satisfying? Or is it just going to be, I don't know, a slightly lame idea, but very well executed?
Maybe this is the correct point to like dive into the both idea and execution of Slots and Daggers, because
speaking of a poor idea,
I think both idea and execution are quite impressive. So,
hey guys, have a good night. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Later. Thanks, Butterballs.